In this video, I'm going to show you how to update your notifications. So I'm going to click on my little thumbnail right here. And just so you know, you can change that picture as well. You can change a lot of things right here, showing your information. But I'm actually going to show you right here notifications. And you'll actually, I think, be pretty impressed with the amount of options there are. And you really want to think about how you will interface with this and acknowledge that it will be different than the last time we had Schoology. Some of you, especially staff or lower school, didn't really use Schoology because you didn't use it with the kids. And now we will be using it. And there's actually an expectation that all of us are checking Schoology regularly. Schoology does not update on its own. So if you leave the page open, it will not refresh unless you refresh it. On the app, sometimes you even have to close the app and go back in. It's not just switching from different classes or groups. So when you look here, these are the things I recommend. I would like for when there's a course update posted, if you click on each of these, there's on, off, custom. So I have it set to only have an alert when the MJS Lounge class gets an update. Now, you might only be in this one class, and you obviously wouldn't be getting alerts for the class that you run necessarily unless you have other people adding to that from your team. So I recommend just keeping that on. But you may want to keep off the email course comments or updates. So for instance, if somebody posts, hey, look at this awesome spring concert video, you might want that alert, but you probably don't want all the responses after to be sent to your email. So I would keep that off personally. And then I would turn that off. So if you have the app on your phone, for instance, there's no expectation of that. You may want it on your iPad, but having alerts like that is another way to remind you to check. So note that those are the two options. Comments on my post. So if I post, I want to see who commented. So I might specifically choose in the MJS Lounge to get that. Most other comments, we're not going to have a ton of test quiz submission alerts, so you can go ahead and keep that off. Course content created, so anytime we add something to the resources page, if you would like to get an alert for that, you can. But we also don't want to overload your email. That's the whole point of Schoology, to make email more about that important or urgent or small group communication. So this is kind of the fun and the sharing community. So for school groups, I would do the same thing. So if you are in a grade level group, you definitely will want to get alerts for that. So you can choose which groups you get alerts for, all the groups. You may want to actually have on comments to updates for those groups because they'll be your teams. And I'm going to keep going through this. Public groups, I recommend not to be part of any public groups, but if you are, I would really turn off all of the notifications. You don't want that taking over your email. In school updates, I would keep those on. And then I turned off school update comments, so if somebody has a question. But those could be very relevant to you, so you may want to turn that on. And then we do have the option to message, so you may want to get an alert when a student or parent or other teacher messages you, so those are quite important. But other than that, you pretty much can leave the rest off. Another user replies. So if you're going to use the blog option, you could turn that off. I have in the past, so I'm just going to leave it on, but you probably won't need that, at least yet. And then you press save, and that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. I know there's a lot to get through.